Welcome friends, LostScarf here, and it's time for the one-shot. They're going to play Dead in Vinland. This is by CCCP. They made a game called Dead in Bermuda, and this is kind of that concept, but with Vikings, and there's a lot going on here. I'm going to show you a new game so you get a sense of what happens at the start of this thing. This is a survival game and survival management game. You're managing your resources, your people, that kind of game, trying to stay alive on an island, and it's a hell of a game. I'm going to show you it. So we're going to do a new game here. I have like these two other runs I've been doing. I've already spent 8 hours on this game. I really like it. I just like it a lot. Okay, so let's see here. One scarf. There, for the one shot. One scarf. There we go. There's difficulty settings you can have. Here's survive right here as the game is intended. You can have a true Viking, which, it's Iron Man mode. There's no checkpoints. Really, you kind of want the checkpoints just for, in case a crash happens. I haven't had a crash, but you never know. Tutorial, we're going to turn that off since we're not going to do that. I'm going to explain as much as I can. And quick start skips the introduction, but the introduction is pretty cool. Let me show you the introduction. Let's go.
I've always had simple needs. A roof. A family. A peaceful life. But like the Skalds sing, you can't always get what you want. And what the gods gave me was fire and steel.
Kill the bastard!
They screamed. Luckily, we were warned in time. I can't forget the tears of my beloved Bloodywed when they burned down our house. Our memories. I yelled, "Drop these bags and row if you want to live." Escaped on a stolen boat, with no map and no destination. They didn't bother to follow us. No turning back. We were exiled. This is how our miserable journey began. We drifted for days, depressed, hungry, lost. We thought we had reached the end of the world when the gods sent us the most terrible storm. Our fate was decided. Death. Oblivion. Then we saw it coming out of nowhere. Salvation. Or Loki's dirty tricks. The gods are playing with us. But I just know that we must survive.
So there you go. That is the opener to Dead in Vinland right there. So now it's loading up the game. So in this game, you have a family of four you're managing. You're managing Eric, Bloodywed, Moira, and Carrie. Carrie's the daughter of Bloodywed and Eric. There's an I in there. So she's the daughter of them. So you got four different characters with different personalities and such. And there's a lot of factors you got to worry about, and you're going to see right now. But there's quite a bit of dialogue in this game, and there's a lot of choices to make as well. So they're on a deserted island. Here's the husband and the wife. They're attacking. We're going to click through a bit so I can show you a lot of the game. There's a lot of dialogue to this game, though. And basically, there's pretty good characterization. You understand what each character is about as they talk to each other. And you make choices in this game. Different choices will affect how they feel about each other, but also their stats as well. So we're just going to have Bloodywed comfort her daughter. And what this does right here is the daughter's depression goes down. You can see there's a noose there, so you don't want a lot of depression. She's not happy with her mom, though, because she's treating her like a child, but her depression did go down. They're on a deserted island. They went through a big storm, so they don't know where they are. It feels like they're in a godforsaken land. They kind of are. Now, because these are Vikings, there's a lot of god stuff going on in here with, like, Thor and those kind of people. And so the family's going to find themselves a place where they can live. So they found a shack and a bunch of other things. Now, we can say it's ours, we can look for survivors. And here's what happens when you look for survivors. Looking for survivors, you find 3 piles of bones. They were killed. You get to use their bones, but everyone is depressed because they found dead bodies. So, oops. So then you're just evaluating what's going on here since everyone dialoguing, so you just learn more about the camp. That's really what this is. No stat effects are here, just to learn about things. They were killed by blunt force trauma. They took a hammer to the head. Question is what really happened there. And we'll learn about that later in this video. Now we're trying to survive here. So what I like is the dialogue will tell you, we'll hammer in basically what you need to know and such. Like we need food, we need water, we need fire, just all the different things you're gonna need. You need wood. The family's talking to each other, so their relationship's going up. The thing is, the different stats you have will affect their dialogues with each other. It feels random, but if you keep the family happy, they'll be happy with each other. But at times they might get mad with each other. And that's partially because of story. Like those water barrels. So there's non-potable and potable water. You have to boil the river water to make it potable. And there's fire, so there's special mushrooms to keep the fire going. You need to find these special mushrooms if you want to keep if you want to relight a fire if it goes out. Weather could affect your fire, so you gotta be careful of that. But if you keep the fire alive with plenty of wood, you don't have to worry about that at all. Trick is keeping it alive. And that's really if you're negligible or if a big storm happens. That's the thing you have to worry about there. And so, okay, let's see here. Keep going here. Alright, so here we are. We're in general here. Okay, so... Alright, we got a camp and everything. Okay, so... The tutorial tells you where to put people just so you understand them. Let's go ahead and look at the characters. So, here are the family. There's a lot of numbers to go over here. So, their fatigue and their injuries affect the physical stats. Their fatigue and their depression will affect their mental stats. Over here you got... Well, fatigue affects everything. Fatigue and hunger affects concentration, and fatigue and sickness affects endurance. You see they have different things they can do. Exploration, scavenging, mining, harvesting, forestry, gardening. There's a lot of things you can do in this game. Also get their different traits. You have their bios if you want to see what they're about. They're relentless, so the positives, she doesn't get fatigued as easily as everyone else. She hates doing anything like that because she doesn't want to be a stay-at-home mother like her mom. So she's not good at fishing, gardening, cooking, or healing, like she gets bad gains. She's also not very wise or good at fishing because she's impatient and impulsive. But you can see what her stats are in combat. There is fighting. You can see the family relationships there. You got the other family members. You got Eric here. The potential hero, so he gets good concentration endurance skill, XP gains, but he's got a lasting remorse because he's the reason why their house got burned. So he gets bad at depression, also bad at leveling up, and he doesn't have much agility. You see he's the unwilling hero. His wife is a Welsh princess, so that's pretty cool. You just see the different stats they have. So she's really good at different things. Everyone's good at different things. Then you got the sister Moira, she's the sister of Bloodwood, and she levels up a lot. You will level up a lot with her, so she can become a powerhouse in whatever way you decide. In level up, whenever you level, you get to choose a special trait, and it's a rogue kind of thing. So there's 5 different traits you can choose from. It's random what they are, and they can have trade-offs like frail. No, that's not a good trade-off. Where's the one that's a trade-off? None of the trade-offs. There can be trade-off ones where it's positive in some things, negatives in others, and things like that. And that's everybody for now. You can gain more characters as you go, but that's who we got for now. Right now we have a shelter, a water supply, and a forge. Well, a workshop. Forge is later. And we got to build all these other things using the workshop. We're going to make repairs here because the more damage it is, the less effective they are. So you got to... Oh, can't repair anymore. You want to make sure you repair things so that they are more effective. Or else, well, things won't go very well for you. That's everything there. Okay, so we need water supply. So we're going to go ahead and have someone scavenge for water. Other things. We have the boat you can scavenge 10 times in the first 5 days usually. The wife is the best scavenger on your crew, so we're going to send her out. Now, we're also going to go ahead and work on, let's see here, exploring. The more you explore of the island, the better things go, so we're going to have the daughter explore. She's one of the best explorers. Mora is also a good explorer. You can look over here to see the map. So you want to gradually explore this whole thing with a bunch of different encounters that can happen, and also direct where you want to explore as well. But we're going to have her just explore randomly for now. Now, let's see here. These are other areas we have to develop for. Now, we're going to go ahead and have... We're going to have Mora scavenge here. She's not as good as her sister as far as scavenging goes. You can see 30 to 16, but we need something to get us water, because water is going to be very important all the time. And we're going to have the husband work on making, over here, we're going to craft a lumber camp so we can gather wood. So we're going to go ahead and craft that. So that's what he's going to do. Now, each thing's going to affect their stats in different ways. You can see her here. She's going to get fatigued and depressed from working on the boat. He's going to get fatigued. She's going to get fatigued, and the daughter is going to get fatigued as well. You see what stats are affected by what's highlighted. There's also items you can use. I don't think we have anything yet. No, not yet. But they can do different things as well. So your phases are morning, afternoon, and evening. So the first two phases you can have them do things. The last phase is preparing for the night. And oh yeah, we should do the fire. So over here is the fire. Let's light the fire. There it is. And we get to purify water through boiling it. So there we go. We have that much water right now. And we don't need to keep the fire. We don't need to put the fire up right now. We're going to get more water through Mora. So we're going to have the day go by. We see things happen. There we go. We're gathering a bunch of random things. You want your best scavenger here because they can get a lot of really good stuff. Because you only use this place 10 times. And it's pretty random what you get, I feel. But it's more base level stuff really at the start. And see, she got a lot of stuff from the boat. Those are all going to be very helpful, like food and such. Unfortunately, it gets suppressed because she's remembering, well, we're stuck on this island. He's crafting the lumberyard right now. Using materials to get to that. One more time and that'll get built up. That'll be good. Over here we got Moira. She got some water. She's getting fatigued by it though, but now we're getting water, so that'll be important for later, of course. Carrie, she uses water to go explore. She explored a place. She found the beach. It's going to be good. And now that's done. Now we can go ahead, whenever we discover a place, we can go check it out. We found an ornate coffer. We can inspect the thing, see what's going on here. Now, what happens is, there's different choices that happen with whatever you're interacting with. There's at least one thing per area. And when it's red, you can only do one of them. But we're going to open this carefully. We're going to use the one with the best agility. That is the daughter. She's a little fatigued, so she doesn't have full 70. She has 69 instead, so that's nice. And now she's going to carefully open the padlock. 59, that's not the best agility. Let's see what happens here. She fails the skill check. Oh, no. And she unlocks it, but it took forever. Let's see here. An orange mist comes out of the treasure chest. And, oh, she got burned by that. Damage taken there. So there was a trap there. But she also got the contents of it, so that's good. But that could have gone better. That definitely could have gone better. So now we're in afternoon phase. There's also weather. You can have like rain or a drought. There's like really sunny days or a storm. And they can affect different things. Like rain will cause more depression, but you get water from the rain, which is very helpful. Now we don't need to change anything. Everything is good as they are right now. So we're going to go ahead and have the day go again. So we're getting a good amount of supplies here. Ooh, fish. Ooh, arrows. That's going to be very useful. You can have hunting grounds in that uses arrows to get some like getting raw meat. But the lumber is going to be completed by him. That'll be good. We're going to need to constantly cut down trees and such. There's an important thing about that I'll show in a second. But there it is right there. So you got to put a person at that station if you want to have wood getting cut. Mara's getting more water. There we go. And water there. She's found another place. There you go. You can go check that out. So yeah, lumber station, lumber camp, you would just put someone there to do it. And you can see how much wood they would get because their stats. He's got 34 forestry. You have the daughter do it. She doesn't get as much, does she? No, she's 32. Actually, she gets just as much as her dad. That's nice. Now someone like Mora do it though. She's not as good, so she gets less. But the more someone does a thing, the better they get at it. Like they get better stats at it. So you don't necessarily... so you still could have people do whatever thing, because you want to have them be focused on that, or just get better all around. Here's all the things we can make. Right now we can't make too many things. First thing camp, shelter stuff. We have to level up for all these things. Right now there's nothing really need to be built. So we're going to go ahead and go do wood. And go do that. So we're going to go ahead and have him take care of wood. I'm setting up for the next day. Right now I'm just seeing where I want people. Eventually you get stations for things. You can get a rest area for fatigue. You can make a tavern where people can drink and hang out. For depression, you can make a healing hut for sickness and injury. And of course you can make hunting stations for food and all that. And I'll show that later on. So we're going to end the day so you can see how the days work. So they're talking, they're considering situations here, and the things are going on. Now he blames himself for everything, so because he blames himself, his depression is going way the hell up, and his wife's disappointed in him. And they're talking, she's not happy with her mom right now. And so affinities are going all over the place, but there are random conversations. Now they're talking about wood cutting. And so these two are not happy with each other. Like, Moira just gets mad with her sister for reasons. And dad and daughter. She's definitely daddy's little girl. They have situations which lead to him being very proud of her. And lead to her being very proud of her father. I've yet to see... But if you're very cowardly with him, she'll lose respect for you, which you don't want to have happen. Oh crap, I forgot to boil water. So I don't actually have as much water as I'd like. I meant to have at least 4 or 5 points of water, because this happens. Dehydration happens at the end of the day. You need 125 points to 1.25 points to guarantee no dehydration. 1 will only give you 90% chance. So since I have 3 people who are dehydrated, I kind of screwed up. This is not going to go well for me. I have a 60% chance, 75% chance. So, whoops. I wasn't thinking. I didn't boil any water. So only she got cured. And I gave her the less amount. That's not good. Give everyone food. We're giving them the perishable fish right here. There you go. Just keep them alive. But the thing about food is when it's the raw food, there's a chance of nausea and sickness. Also, because it's perishable, at the end of the night, a percentage will go rotten. So you want to not let your food rot if you can help it. That's kind of important. One more? You give it to her. There we go. So you're seeing their traits are affecting things. He's sick because of the dehydration or something else, I'm not sure. Night effects, so they lose fatigue because they went to bed. Fire goes down a little bit. And if it's raining or if there's a heat wave, different things will happen because of that. But first time playing, I had it rain for 10 days straight, and my people were super depressed. That did not go well. Here's the water. You just use the percentage of the heat of the fire to make water. You gotta use it's 2 to 1 ratio to make the water. Let's get this fire back up. There we go. And this water would have been really helpful the last night. Now have everyone just do what they're doing because something's about to happen right now, so I don't need to do anything else. So, skipping through what they're doing, because the story's about to kick up pretty hard in a second. Because you're not just trying to survive, something else happens. And we're about to encounter it. Because you thought you just had to survive on an island, but no. Oh, she leveled up. But no, there's a little bit more than that. Just a little bit more, and that has to do with... Here comes... Sometimes you can have events in the middle of the day, too, depending on characters. Here's the situation. Kyrie runs home, running as if she saw a ghost in the forest. These guys. These are not nice people. Bjorn. This guy's Bjorn, and he is not nice. The guy chief, who talks to him? You'll talk to him. He speaks up. His courage goes up. His family believes in him. But then... the guy calls him a wimp, so the daughter believes in him less. And then he gets attacked. Eric takes an injury there. And now it's time for combat. So we're going to have the family fight. So you're going to see what combat's like. Combat is kind of like Darkest Dungeon. We have like melee and ranged, and you also have your AP, and you'll see in a second. Now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to have her call someone out. She's going to want to attack the knife guy. He calls him out. That affects some stats there. Brings down his damage resistance, brings down his critical resistance, and his dodge. And this is a random attack. She jumps back with it. She hits that guy instead. And now she's back in there. But when everyone's in the row, it becomes everything becomes melee when everyone's in the same row. In the back. So I gotta move these two up front so she can't be attacked. This guy's the same kind of attack and move back. She gets hurt. Now, when you get hurt with the last 10 HP you have, that does actual damage, which will put up your injuries. Any points above 10 is your armor, so she's the tank of the team, so she can handle a lot. So you gotta move her up. You can have her guard her daughter or her husband. She can also put up her defensive stats. This one's cool. She can attack and defend. So we're going to hit him with a Turtle Strike. Now, if you end a turn early with extra action points, you get an extra point for the next turn. But we're going to keep attacking. Put the pressure on there. Now, initiatives, the way it works is you can set up, like, this is the numbers of initiatives you're going to have. You can also put it up or down during combat. What's going to happen is this guy's going to go first next turn, she's going to go next, and then these two, it's random when they're even numbers, and then he's last. Now, what happens is, he has a bull charge. When he attacks from the back row, he'll slam them into the back, unless they resist it. They did not resist, so now everything's melee. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hit with the Berserk attack. He also has a row attack, but I need more for that, so hit this guy, and he's very dead. We gotta deal with one more guy here. He's gonna attack because he's got the higher initiative. He maims. Luckily it's an armored guy, so he's still got some armor left, so it's not gonna have any injuries there. Tactical retreat doesn't do anything because he's only in melee. There's no range. So she is gonna just straight up shoot this guy in the face. There we go. I'm gonna have her put up her dodge in case he throws a knife at her, and then in turn add more to get more AP for the next turn if we need to. But this guy should get beaten to death. She has status effects. She can taunt to bring down some of their stats. She moves to the front when she does that. She can also knock down their AP, so this is not a bad one to do. If it didn't miss, oh, it still gets the debuff though, so that's good right there. So that guy's gonna have less AP for the next turn, which is kind of very important. Like, you can look at his AP. He's gonna have 3 AP next turn, or 1 because that he's gonna have 2 because that debuff. Okay, gonna have him buff the team. There we go. This puts up the accuracy of the team. I'm gonna go for this wild strike. If it does enough damage, it'll kill him. It did 1 damage. Next turn, this guy's gonna go first again because of his initiative, so that sucks for us. Like, Mora has a bunch of status effect stuff, so she's useful in ways to just affect the enemy team. Oh, he's hurt. He's gonna get injured. Now this guy's really dead. We go ahead and have her call him out. Says he's next. That brings down his damage resistance and critical resistance, so she could get a higher chance at a crit here. He has 30% chance at a crit. Now it's 40% chance, and bam, she kills him. There we go. And he got broken ribs from that fight. Ugh. And then we get some stuff from those fights. I kind of always want to encounter it. You might hurt the family, but if you win, you can get some randomly good stuff. Now you gotta fight this guy. So just a tip, if you buy this game, just put one character in that you don't care about getting injured and just have them fight. Because here's what happens when you fight this guy. Have the family fight him again. He's actually OP as all crap and you can't beat him yet. Like, he's potentially the endgame last person you need to beat in this game to finish. Because he does that. He just wipes out your team instantly. He's kind of really strong. Like, you thought you had a chance. Nope. You don't actually have a chance. You can try to fight him, but it just doesn't go well. Like, ow. Yeah, ow. He's kind of strong. You try to hurt him, and you do, like, no damage, because these resistances are really strong. Yeah, +4 resistance. You have to be able to do 5 damage. And, that ain't gonna happen at the start. Your team just isn't strong enough for that. Even with his 8 damage attack. He missed it, so that's really bad. This is not gonna go well. Go for the attack. So you're trying to just make your team stronger and build up stats and everything to try to deal with this guy in other situations. Now, what happens is, he's gonna force your team, your people to, he's gonna tax your people every 7 days. And of course, it gets more and more ridiculous as the game goes on. But what you're trying to do is you're getting your characters stronger, but you're also going to gain allies as you go. That's what he's going to do here. You've been defeated, and now he's like, you guys are going to get taxed every 7 days. Fulfill the tax, or you will be killed. Which is probably what he did to the last 3 people. So that's what you got to do. And of course, everyone's very depressed from that. And then things happen. So that's what happens there. So now I'm just going to show really quick what a later game looks like. Your max population at the start of the game is 6, but you can increase it to 8 and then further than that. And it's random what characters you get. Oh, it's raining here. I can show you weather. So here's what's happening because it's raining. Depression increases, you get potable and non-potable water though, so that's really nice, very helpful. Fatigue and fire intensity, things like that. So here's my party. I've got Bloodowid doing exploring right now because the other people right now, they're kind of depressed, so they're healing. There's a tavern there. I'm going to have them drink to get better. Over here, I have a samurai chick, and she's healing Carrie. And then I've got a musician guy who's resting for his fatigue. Sometimes he'll play music and get someone's depression down, which is really nice. Right now my tax is I need 30 wood. The thing is, there's a guy there who makes things worse for you, the toll collector, and he expects a cut for himself. So actually, instead of needing 30 wood, I need 45 wood, which really sucks. But yeah, and I also have a hunting camp, which uses arrows. I'll use her to show the thing. So, hunting camp uses arrows to get raw meat, fish hooks to get fish. There's a wood station, I can have 2 people do it. I have mining right here. I haven't done anything here yet. You can have gardening and stuff. There's the water there. Over here I said like the tavern, but with the workshop I can get, there's a lot of things I can build that I've already built some things, but there's more I can build, like cooking, drying for preservation, there's a juicer you can do, a lot of different things you can do. Most of my source of food is meat, but I can also go to fruit if I really want. And here's how much of the island I've explored. And here's 2 new people I can recruit, but I don't have maximum 8, I have maximum 6. It's not really worth. This is a plot thing that you'll see for yourself. And then this is beavers. I'm trying to get trapping so I can deal with these beavers, because they're really mean. And you can see people are pretty leveled up. As you can see, Moira is very leveled up. And character sheets just to show more characters. So yeah, I got a bunch of characters. You can see how they're affected by their stats. A lot of things going on here. Also, I didn't show items, so here's items. I got a bunch of different items here. This one can cure diseases, wounds, and have them drink mead, which has a chance of making things better or worse. And there's hunger things. There's a lot of different items you can have. There's also, like this Shepherd Crook, which can put up stats. Like, I got Loki's Cloak, which I gave to the daughter, so that she got more stealth. And just things like that. So there's a lot going on here. I also upgraded my water, so I get more water out of here whenever I use the non-potables. And just the one that, with that, there's a lot more to repair. Oh, I forgot to mention one more thing. Sustainability. The more you use something, like, it'll replenish itself, but you also need to do more. So, because we've cut so much wood and we're not letting it replenish as much as it needs to, it's getting harder to find more wood. So I need to let this place replenish so that it'll be easier to get wood. Same thing goes for stone, animals, and fish and things like that. So there's an interesting sustainability you gotta deal with. But it's really hard when it comes to wood, because wood is the lifeblood of this game. Besides, well, food and water and other things, because you need wood to build everything. Everything needs wood. Everything requires wood to be built. So you're kind of screwed on that. So, yeesh. So that's something to worry about. With more people, there's more mouths to feed, so I need more food, I need more water. But with more people, I can get more things done. So it's always that balancing act, and also just worrying about that, about the tribute I have to pay, the tax I have to pay. So there's just things to worry about. But there you go. I've shown as much as I can. Here's the different task things that plan things out. Shown a lot of the game, and if you're not sold on it, I don't know what else to show you. This is a pretty good game. I like it a lot. It is a $20 game. I think it's well worth it. I've spent 9 hours on this game as of right now. Really enjoying it, getting a lot of bang for the buck. So that right there is the one-shot. I had fun showing this game. Hope you had fun watching and listening. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.